Hey folks, welcome back to our channel, Mystery Recap. In today's video, we're gonna recap a movie named Salvage, so stick with us till the end. But before we move on to the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell icon for more videos like this one. The movie starts with an empty parking lot in the middle of nowhere. Jimmy searches his truck's back. Then all of a sudden, a man walks up to him. Jimmy is frightened. The scene moves to Claire's point of view. She will hand over her convenience store night shift to Greasy, her greasy co-worker. Claire leaves the store and awaits for her boyfriend Jimmy. Jimmy's truck pulls up. She has never met the driver. Claire is unsure about getting in the car, so she hesitates. The man says his name is Duke and that he knows Jimmy. Claire boards the car without noticing the blue bag in the trunk. Duke chats with a toothpick. He makes Claire uneasy. He strokes Claire's cheek. Duke doesn't apologize for his sneakiness. Instead, he asks Claire if she would refuse a Jimmy stroke. Claire feels disgusted. She just wants to go home. Claire runs home from the truck when it stops at her house. She quickly closes the door and calls for help. She instinctively knows that Duke is risky. Duke knocks unexpectedly, saying that Claire left something. Claire realizes that she dropped a star-shaped pendant through the peephole. Duke offers to put the pendant on the floor mat after Claire refuses to open the door for safety reasons. Claire watches him leave the car. She slits the pen door and gets her earring back. She turns around to find the side door open. Duke appears as she closes it. Duke binds and stabs her with a machete. Claire is unaware that Duke is a serial killer. Claire is dragged downstairs. Claire screams in pain as Duke beats her. The convenience store is back next. Claire miraculously survives. Claire waits for Jimmy at the iron railings after handing over to Greasy, the same colleague. The truck is approaching her. When Jimmy arrives, Claire rushes into the car. Jimmy kisses her cheek with hormone-filled eyes. Claire doesn't give tongue massage feedback. She tells him her basement nightmare of a stranger killing her. Dreams are too real to ignore. Jimmy disregards it. He tells her that her long night shifts caused the hallucination. Jimmy's indifference bothers Claire. After returning home, she packs for school with Jimmy. Claire listens to the teacher. Jimmy makes faces at the window and unties his pants to give her a hot dog. Claire smiles at his thoughts. They fly to sports field after school. The young couple will cuddle under the empty stands. After a tongue massage, they can play 6 and 9 hormones. Claire suddenly feels something wet drip on her face. She rubs it off and finds blood. Jimmy claims she has no makeup. Jimmy wants to play, but Claire is afraid. Jimmy checks around. The stand is empty. Claire asks Jimmy to take her home in her jacket. Claire finds someone talking in the basement at home. She braves the basement door. She turns on the lights in darkness. Her mom faces the wall. Surprising. Mom says she searches the dark basement for something she lost. Claire finds this response incomprehensible. She finds this room strange, especially after the terrifying murder scene. She doubts Mom's word. She flees the basement in fear, claiming she's busy. Jimmy then calls Claire to play basketball with Claire's best friend, Bestie. Claire abruptly ends the call, knowing Jimmy is exploiting Bestie's hormones. While Jimmy impresses Bestie on the basketball court, Claire tells her the truth. Jimmy defends himself and blames Claire for harshness. Game ends awkwardly. Claire takes Jimmy's car again, but this time they fight. Duke appears on the field when Claire looks out the window. He's also bearing something with a shovel. Claire is terrified after seeing the murderer. She immediately showers at home to forget the creepy Duke. It switches to the forest. Duke is evading police. Police dogs patrol. Gunshots and sirens fill the woods. Claire, still showering, senses danger. She rushes out of the bathroom. She turns off the tap to discover what went wrong. She unexpectedly sees Duke's face in the mirror while drying her hair. After wiping the mirror, she sees herself. Claire journals events to solve mysteries. Mom sends Claire to the convenience store at night. Mom announces her new boyfriend on the way. She may stay with her boyfriend instead of going home. Mom advises Claire to take care of herself while away. Claire leaves Mom, surprised. Her shift begins with few customers. After napping on the counter, Claire sees a figure. She grabs a self-defense weapon and sets the alarm in a panic. Duke arrives uninvited, shocking her. His strength dwarfs Claire. Duke then grabs her by the neck and pokes his eyes. Duke stops torturing Claire and runs out of the store, saying it's not the right time. Claire thinks that she will die. Claire crawls out of the store, bloodied. Police arrive. Strangely, they find nothing about the struggle. Claire tells the police what happened, but cannot explain why her face is bloodless. The officer shows Claire surveillance camera data. Claire cannot believe that she's fighting alone. The store has no other men. The officer concludes that Claire sees things due to stress overload. Claire fails to persuade the officer. He will drive her. Claire falls asleep, returning home. She trances in an abandoned parking lot. Jimmy's searching. Duke slams Jimmy with an axe. Claire wakes up in Jimmy's truck in the middle of the day. She sees Duke carrying a huge blue bag to the truck, still confused. Claire panics and drives home to call for help. No one answers her call for mom's help. Duke broke in with the same machete. He skins Claire in the basement. Claire repeats the duty handover at the convenience store. She worries about the future because she remembers the 2 murder scenes. Greasy awaits. Claire quietly hands him the duty and runs out of the store. She returns to Duke's wheat field. She recalls Duke bearing something. She investigates the location. Duke rushes over before she can investigate. Then the abandoned parking lot appears. Claire sees Jimmy's bloody face. Duke axes Jimmy. Claire then teleports to class. Jimmy makes funny faces outside the classroom. Claire discovers her teacher covered the same material yesterday. The teacher tells her that she was absent the day before. Claire flees class confused. She doesn't understand her life's drama. Jimmy calms Claire after catching up. Claire tells Jimmy her dreams kill him. Jimmy's smile freezes, but he realizes Claire's hallucination. Claire claims that they exist. Jimmy takes Claire to church because they cannot agree. The priest is absent, but they want to talk. Jimmy advises Claire to tell the cleaner her problems because he thinks the cleaner is close to God. Claire says that she dreams of Killer Duke. This name shocks the cleaner. He asks Claire if she saw Duke. He knows Duke died. Hearing his words, Claire leaves the church feeling better. They pass an abandoned wooden cottage. Duke owns the house Claire enters. Jimmy refuses to enter the cottage, but Claire wants to. Jimmy believes Claire's dream and thinks Duke haunts this house. Claire sees Duke through the broken window after entering the house. Duke comes home with a shovel. Claire hides, but Jimmy's piercing screams from upstairs scare her. Duke attacks Jimmy in the toilet. Duke carries a huge blue bag while Claire watches. Bag shape indicates dead man. Claire knows the sadist killed Jimmy. Claire calls the police after Duke leaves. The police officer does not buy her lies and tells Claire that she is crazy. Claire retreats. Jimmy's corpse truck unexpectedly parks at her house. Since her house is unsafe, Claire cannot forget her brutal death. She searches the school library for Duke. The shocking thing is that the newspaper reports Claire and Jimmy's deaths, but Claire's corpse is not found. Claire flees the library and runs to Duke's burying site, terrified. A decayed corpse appears under soft soil. Claire recognizes the star-shaped earring as her corpse. She cannot identify herself or her current state. Claire flees to Bestie's house, overwhelmed. Bestie listens and advises rest. Focus is on the abandoned cottage. Duke faces the policeman. Duke is ordered to confess by gunpoint. Duke cannot avoid punishment after the officer finds Jimmy's body. Duke claims that he was forced to do everything. He then wants to shoot the policeman. The officer shoots faster, killing him instantly. Claire wakes up on Bestie's couch. She overhears Bestie saying that Claire is in. Claire is terrified to see Bestie talking to Duke. She cannot believe Bestie betrayed her and told the most dangerous man she's hiding from her whereabouts. Bestie then lets Duke in. Duke's machete approaches the room, nearly breaking Claire's heart. She escapes the house through the window and boards the truck. Claire accelerates home immediately. Duke jumps on and opens the car door. Claire fights while he clings to the side door beside the driver's seat. Duke slips and falls. Claire finds the trunk's blue container. She finds Jimmy dead inside. Claire runs home crying and locks all the doors. She calls for Mom's help and hears her from the basement. Mom requests Claire's basement assistance. Claire is paralyzed by basement phobia. Mom screams Claire's name in pain. Claire walks to the basement without self-control. Mom faces away from her. Claire wants to hold Mom's hands, but Mom turns around and grabs Claire. In shock, Claire asks what's wrong and tells Mom that she is Claire. Mom claims that she is Duke, not Claire. Claire is dead and gone. Duke appears at the basement entrance with his hideous face. He slowly descends the stairs with his machete. Claire proclaims her innocence. Duke disregards her plea. Claire's face suddenly becomes Duke's. The Duke slashes his crying face with the machete. Jimmy and Claire are behind the attacking Duke. Duke is punished for murder. His soul is trapped in Claire's body, reliving his victim's pain forever. The Duke shrieks and dies in the basement. The film ends with Duke haunted Claire, starting over at the convenience store and ready for the fourth handover, implying Duke can never escape. So guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more movie recaps. Also, comment your favorite movie name that you would like to get an explanation on. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out these videos.